has an ongoing partnership with media houses in Uganda, namely the Vision Group that give out an award for the best performing student of photojournalism, and the Nation Media Group that give out an award every time we hold the annual media convention for the best overall performing student in the department. So at this event, we are going to give out the award for the Tebere Mudin Award under the auspices of the Nation Media Group. And the best overall student that is going to receive this award is Nabunya Leah Aida.
I'm Don Wanyama. I'm the managing editor of the Daily Monitor newspaper. On behalf of the Nation Media Group, first of all, I want to congratulate you, Leah, upon this feat. We believe that this award should be able to kickstart a great career for you in journalism, and wish you the best. The awards, Mudin Tebere Awards, are really named after some of the finest journalists we had, Mr. Rashid Mudin and Mr. Richard Tebere. These were some of the the pioneer journalists of the Daily Monitor. Unfortunately, they passed on in 1998. They were taking part in a motor rally championship in Karamoja. So to try and keep their legacy alive, we decided to start this initiative of the award. And we are grateful to the Department of Mass Communication and Journalism for being partners with us. Our prayer is that this can go beyond just the awards into other engagements and initiatives like internships and other partnerships with the journalism department. Thank you, and again, congratulations, Leah.
Yeah, it's the book I've talked about today, so we would be really honored if you can put it in your library so that the wonderful students of the future can just have some look at it.
The department, as you are aware, organizes the annual media convention every end of the year. And last year's media convention focused on investigative journalism. And we looked at the role of investigative journalism in promoting good governance and democratization in our country and in the region. This year's annual media convention focused on media for children and the youth. We thought this is a befitting theme because of the work we have been doing in partnership with the GIZ and the Deutsche Welle Academy, where we have been working on a project on media and human rights. So I would like to thank them on your behalf for working with us on this project and also working with us to organize this year's media convention. A number of issues have come up over these 2 days. One issue which came out was the issue of content, media content for children. How can we encourage more homegrown content for children, whether in the films that our children watch, whether in the programming, so that, for example, we can see our kids watching series of cartoons where characters speak in Luganda or in Runyagore Chiga. It has been a very interesting 2 days, I believe, and I hope you have all learned something from this interaction. And I hope as we leave here, we'll go out challenged to see what we can do differently. So with those few concluding remarks, I would like to thank you all who made this possible, and all of you who participated. for making our annual media convention 2013 very colorful. I would like to invite people from my team in the department to give you a big hand clap for your support.
As a university, we are very pleased to associate with this effort on the part of the Department of Journalism and Communication in particular, and the media fraternity in general, to reach out to the public on subjects that are so vital, so sensitive, and so interesting as that of programming the future generation of this country. I want to say that as a university, we are very pleased that this is happening. My association with the media fraternity has been long and interesting, knowing that once upon a time at Makerere University, actually when I joined it, and for many years when I started working there, we did not have a program for training journalists. And the only window for training journalists was through a tiny course in the literature program called Art of Communication. And it's from there that many people who left the university went on to what was then called Institute of Public Administration, now Management Institute, to train as journalists. So you'll find that most of the elder journalists in the country have a literary background. And many of them were actually my colleagues and contemporaries, such as Onyango Bo and Joachim Buembo. They are of that generation of people that trained in Makerere before journalism was pulled there. And when it was pulled into the university, I remember this was during the time of Professor Asavia Wandira, and working with Professor Timothy Wambusa, they worked to make sure that journalism comes to the university, mainly for two reasons. One, that universities sponsor a lot of productive research, and as you go about your work to do research and inform the world through the newspaper, through the media, through the television, through the radio, also keep in mind that there is that other branch of journalism that is called academic journalism, where you grapple with issues, where you theorize about issues of an academic nature, the things that actually inform at the basement the thinking that you see reflected in the media. When you see a picture on the screen, on a television, that picture, or when you hear a voice on radio, that voice has a lot of history behind it. It has been programmed over years. And academic journalists, people engaged in researching the issues that inform the journalists, people like Professor Goretti Nasanga here, with whom I have worked for a long time, they participate in shaping the future of what people write. Now, as institutions of learning, we are aware of this duty, not just to train journalists to write well, not just to train them to be conscious of the forces that drive journalism in the country, not just to be aware of the risks that journalists must agree to take. The fact that as journalists, you are the conscience of society, and that your duty to speak up is as great as or even greater on behalf of society, as great as or even greater than that of elected members of parliament, because you go where they don't go, and you think of things that they never think of. While for them, the issue is the vote at the next by-election, for you, the issue is how do my clientele? How do my people, the people for whom I'm writing, how do they get to hear this rare story? What are they going to learn from this? There's one newspaper circulating out there in the capital, and I like very much the catchword that it uses. It says, "We risk our lives to let you know." Now, it would be criminal for journalists to keep quiet in the face of oppression, in the face of social mismanagement. Let me tell you the story of the bird that speaks, that spoke 13 languages. An American student left the US for Germany to go and study. And when he reached Germany, he found a bird on display. The bird spoke 13 languages. And he was so impressed by this bird that he bought it and sent it to his mother back in the US. And when the mother received the bird, yes, she was very pleased with it, and made arrangements to prepare it for dinner. Okay, so it was eaten. And when the boy returned home 1 year later after his studies, he was very anxious to join in the excitement of the family, the family that has been enjoying the entertainment of the bird that speaks 13 languages. So the first question he asked after the formal welcomes was, "Where is the bird?" And he said, "Which bird?" "Oh, the bird that I sent you." And the mom said, "Oh, that bird, it was very delicious. We enjoyed it." And said, "Mom, you ate the bird that spoke 13 languages?" And the mom said, "Son, forget the 13 languages. If that bird had only said one word in the language that we all know, that is English, that would have been sufficient to ensure that the knife does not come near it. But it kept quiet as we were sharpening the knives and preparing to slaughter it. It just kept quiet, and that was its fate." So I'm saying it would be criminal for you as journalists to keep quiet when they're sharpening the knives. We know the risks involved, but the power of speaking up. Our opponents will have guns. They will have APCs. They will have what are the things that were used to besiege the High Court? The numbers. They will have all those, but they cannot be more powerful than the written word, than the spoken word. Now, as a university, we have come a long way. Ever since we started training journalists in the year 1988, we've made big strides. In the beginning, we were staggering. We had part-time lecturers throughout. We didn't have any trained lecturers in 1988. Later, we got a teaching assistant. The first member of staff in that department was George William Lugalambi. The teaching assistant was recruited, and he kept. He was a teaching assistant. He was the only permanent member of staff for some time, and then later we got others. Goreti Nasanga, Monica Chibita, and others joined us, and the team has been growing stronger and stronger. And with every additional strength, the quality of work has been improving. The quality of our friends has also progressively improved. We have attracted support from NGOs, we have attracted support from media houses, the Monitor publications in particular, and the New Vision have a historical relationship, not just for availing our students with a platform to publish and practice their trade, but actually for coming in and helping us to teach journalism in very practical terms. And we are very grateful for this. Likewise, we are also thankful to the other publications. Now, the curriculum in particular has also been diversifying. Questions, I'm aware that questions have been asked about children's programs. Yes, there are things that we haven't done as well as we would have wished to. Every honest institution should be, should be able to declare as much. But the spirit to want to do them is there. And when you look at the first curriculum that we operated and the one that we operate now, we've gone into areas like environmental journalism, we've gone into areas like investigative journalism. We teach our students to have a strong sense of economics so that they can grapple with the national issues. We teach them to have a strong sense of the politics of their country so that they can grapple with the politicians, and so that we can lessen the intimidation that journalists are constantly subjected to by the political powers, either through imprisonment, harassment, confiscation of their gadgets, and every once in a while through the courts of law, where they are taken to court and then sometimes a judge hands down a disproportionate sentence to them for reporting something that was in the national interest. So we are aware of all these factors taking place, but our curriculum continues to expand. So we are committed to this, to respond with sensitivity to the needs of our society. If you want to broaden out a little beyond the Department of Journalism and Communication, in the Department of Literature, for example, we have a full-fledged course in children's literature, and these programs work together, they feed into each other. In the Institute of Language, Common Institute of Languages, we operated a successful program called Minds Across Africa, and even in the Department of Journalism and Communication, we have ongoing research that addresses related issues like this. So, just to tell you that the university is there to serve the society, to serve the community. And personally, I want to declare my commitment to this cause. As I've told you, I was part of the amateur team that drafted the first curriculum for the course in mass communication. And I was also the head of department that oversaw if you want to use bad language, you might call it secession. But if you want to use optimistic language, you will call it the separation of the two departments. It was under the Department of Literature, and I was the head of the Department of Literature, also taking mass communication, and we peacefully divided up, not the way South and the Sudan are doing. We didn't fight thereafter, but we divided up, and we even ceded territory to be occupied by the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication under Goretti Nasanga as the first head of department. Sad good thing that has happened to us also in the department, Journalism and Communication, is that yes, we have trained people who came to us as lecturers like Goretti and Monica, Lugala, the teaching assistant. Unfortunately, sometimes they grow beyond what we can afford. Okay? Yes. And so our retention rate is increasingly becoming poor because they rise to such levels as we cannot afford them any longer, and those who can afford them better take them. But we are proud that we have developed them to a stage where others can now snatch them, because you don't snatch a bad thing. Okay. Now, as deputy principal, I'm charged with actually overseeing graduate programs. I want to encourage those of you that have completed your first degrees to come back and undertake graduate studies. I want to thank you very much for according me this time and for lending me your ears and for allowing me to talk to you about the work we do. On behalf of Makerere University, may I say that we are always grateful. We are happy to continue hosting the program in mass communication and journalism.